Uptown is a commercial district in southwestern Minneapolis in the U.S. state of Minnesota. That is centered at the Uptown Theater at the intersection of Hennepin and Lagoon Avenues. It has traditionally spanned the corners of four neighborhoods: Lowry Hill East, East Calhoun, South Uptown and East Isles neighborhoods, which are all within the Calhoun Isles community. Historically, the boundaries of Uptown are BDE-McCusker to the west, DuPont Avenue to the east, 31st Street to the south, and 28th Street to the north. Uptown is a popular destination for retail, nightlife, and cultural events, and the district was famously written about by recording artist Prince. The lakes area of BDE-McCusker, Lake Harriet, and Lake of the Isles became popular in the 1880s as vacation cottages, hotels, and boating recreation became available by streetcar. As Minneapolis expanded south, housing construction boomed through the 1920s. A commercial district began forming just east of the lakes area, at the intersection of Hennepin Avenue and Lagoon Avenue. The Lagoon Theater was built, a multi-function vaudeville theater. When the lagoon burned down in 1939, owners sought to rebuild and the business community took the opportunity to rebrand the area. Following the success of Chicago's Uptown District, the Minneapolis Tribune announced the new Uptown District of Minneapolis centered on the newly renamed Uptown Theater. Through the 20th century, Uptown was primarily a family area centered on nearby West High School at Hennepin and 28th Street. West modest housing along Lowry Hill met the mansions of Kenwood to the west and around the lakes. Hennepin flourished as a commercial corridor and route from downtown to residential homes, while Uptown served also as an important streetcar route from Uptown to the vacation homes of Lake Minnetonka. White flight via the freeway system after World War II and demolition of West High School signaled a demographic shift in the area. Blight and crime began moving into Lowry Hill, though were kept at bay by the Kenwood area. Neighborhood associations and formal borders were designated in the 1970s as each section of Uptown began addressing domestic problems. During this time, Uptown developed an artist culture. The history of this culture is preserved in the annual Uptown Art Fair. In 1980, Minneapolis musician Prince, a graduate of Central High School, released his seminal recording Dirty Mind, which contained his paean to these artists, appropriately titled Uptown. In the 1990s, he later owned a store at 1408 West Lake Street called New Power Generation. A retail renaissance of the area occurred in the 1980s when 7 Points was developed, combining a half-block of existing storefront buildings. The renovation turned the area into a competitive retail draw from downtown and from the suburban Dales. As the popularity of Uptown as a residential district grew again, the definition of the area expanded. The Lake Street Council launched a Museum in the Streets project, a series of free, self-guided walking tours highlighting business districts along Lake Street, including Uptown. The Uptown Tour spotlights historic businesses and places in the neighborhood, including the origins of Abdullah Candies, Shatsalaying Saddle Shop, Schlamp & Sons Furriers, and the Uptown Theater. Uptown is a mix of various cultural strains and is considered an area for young people to live and shop. It was formerly known as a vibrant center for artists and musicians, a center for counterculture and hippies, similar to East Village, Manhattan. The artist community was popularized by the musician Prince, who started his career in Uptown. The area has experienced gentrification and is no longer considered the bohemian area it once was. Many of the older buildings and long-standing businesses in the area have closed or been torn down due to gentrification, but the area is still considered vibrant and walkable. This area has a vast variety of ethnic food and grocery stores from Asian to Mexican to Middle Eastern. Uptown's more than 20 bars within a 3-block radius draw people from across the metro area to revel in the district. Uptown seems to draw a slightly older and more sophisticated clientele compared to the warehouse district. Controversy about noise, particularly surrounding bars' rooftop patios. In 2011, City Council member Meg Duthill wrote a noise ordinance to address the issue, but it was afterwards withdrawn. The area annually hosts the Uptown Art Fair. During the first full weekend of August, local, national, and world artists converge to exhibit and sell fine art. Art media include paintings, sculptures, clothing, pottery, jewelry, glass, and mixed media. As of 2000, the current population for Uptown Minneapolis was 30,564, of which 15,947 are male and 14,617 are female. The population consists of 19,314 Caucasians, 4,930 African Americans, 4,729 Hispanics, 1,630 Asians, 514 Native Americans, and 32 Native